How's it going, everyone, and welcome to another Counterside video. We're back with our May 2023 preview. So here it is, here's the image, it's on your screens. Let's see what's coming in the month of May. We have the substream The Iron Knight, which is of course where Awakened Kyrian, or well just Kyrian in general, comes in. We have substream The Moonless Knight, which as you can see has Lulu front and center. And then we have our next counterpass, which is Biblide Luce. The one we have now is fairly new, so that's probably going to come in towards the middle to endish of May. And then two new rearms next month in Alex and Gaon. That would be putting us at 3 rearms we are missing now from having every rearm that is currently out on KR as well. So both of those are two really good rearms, so that's a hefty set of rearms to look at in the month. And of course you also have the art there of Shinna in her summer attire, which means we will probably be getting a summer event of some kind, or a beach event of some kind, with the new set of summer bathing suit costumes for a handful of characters to go on with the rest of them. So that's all we got for our May 2020 preview in the image. Really quickly, let's look at the units we know are coming because of this. We have Biblide, who is our next counterpass unit. She is, as you see at the top, overall a B. Scroll down, we can take a look. That she is pretty good for co-op and raids, but outside of that, she is fairly average, except in your super high-end content where she does not do too great. Her pros being her defense breaker, skill haste debuffer, and has good survivability for the cost ranger, but low damage, low uptime on the debuffs. So that is her. I believe she's a counter. Okay. Then we have Lulu, who an A in PvP, D overall, I will say is a great piece of art, and I'm sitting on almost enough blue tickets to pity somebody because I haven't used any in a decent amount of time. I'm probably going to throw some at Lulu because I really like her design, and just because I'm sitting on them and I want to use them. So she's a 2-cost supporter counter, and as you can see, she is solid in PvP, does okay in Shadow Palace, but outside of that, she's really not good in any PvE content, unfortunately, because her main gimmick is sleep, and sleep doesn't really work in a lot of PvE content. So it's kind of a bummer in that regard, because she's a cool unit, but yeah. But for PvP, 2-cost counter with pretty decent debuff. Like, even with all of the awakenings and everything out there that, you know, really dominate PvP, and rearms out there that dominate PvP, she's still able to pull out PvP. So, the other one I'm going to pull up next is the Warden, because he did launch they did launch alongside Kyrian in KR, and I believe C as well when it came to C. Is a soldier sniper. And you can see very solid 2-cost all around attack, ground movement. Very good. Really good to have in story, good in PvP. Generally just good across the board. Does struggle a little bit in your in-game dives and relic dungeons. But I don't know how accurate the relic dungeon stuff is nowadays, because that's not the same content anymore. But as it says here on the pros, great consistent damage, monsters burst damage with enhanced attack, barrier helps survive a bit longer compared to the old administration riflemen. So, but they are slow on their movement attack speed. But just a really strong unit, and all the more reason that with the launch of Kyrian, that, you know, soldiers have a team. Their soldier-only team is a bit more possible now, is a bit stronger now. So Kyrian, of course, is a fantastic sniper, awakened soldier with a pretty much S to double S across the board, except in Danger Close. He does not really stand out. Yeah, I was gonna summon to see how I did on him, and I still am, but I can say that my resources are not as great as well, they were. I ended up summoning for Mario, and I said I wouldn't, and ended up going in really hard on said summon when I said I wouldn't. So yeah, my black ticket resources aren't great, and I don't have Maria, so that gives you any idea of the foolish decisions I have made. But I'm still going to summon for Kyrian. Might as well. Screw it, it's all in the wind now. Let's just see what happens. Summon for the Awakens as they come out, right? Not a lot to say about Kyrian. He's just a really good sniper, really good Awaken unit. Same 6 cost most Awaken units are, and like, to be fair, if you like soldiers or you want to run a strong soldier team, Kyrian is the way to go. And I'm also going to bring up 2 more SSRs that could come out this month, but because they're not, in any of the events, I don't think, I'm not 100% on that, and their art isn't present, I don't want to just say they are, but I want to point out the possibility that they may show up this month because of proximity of their original release in KR and relation to some things coming out. But they may not. No guarantee, but there are 2 units I wanted to talk about. First one being Ella, who is a counter striker. Part of the same faction as Kyrian, so they might bring her up to release with Kyrian and Warden. She did not release with the 2 of them in KR, if I recall correctly. But she is a part of the same faction, so maybe she'll get pulled up for global NJP for that, shrinking the gap, trying to get them close together thing that they're sort of still doing, sort of not. So she is a decent unit, does really well in raids and co-op, as well as Shadow Palace. Good in PvP, does not really shine in the in-game dives and Relic Dungeon. Not too good in story, they say, but that's probably not that she's not good, just that there are better options, which, story has a lot of really good options to go to. But she's really good in single target, and yeah, so that is Ella. And the other one I wanted to bring up is Levia Thanis. As you can see, double S in PvP, A everywhere else. She is a defender, 4 cost, and she's apparently amazing in Shadow Palace. I didn't know this. This caught me off guard. So perfect evasion plus hit debuff, allow her to tank for days. 4 cost defender that's really good in story, Shadow Palace, and your in-game content, though mildling in raids, co-op, and Danger Close. So that doesn't mean she's bad. That just means there's probably better options for it. True HP % damage reflection can melt most awakened defenders. Great grouping with the ultimate along with more HP. So stuns can also cancel a passive, countered by counterattacks, and can sometimes get stuck in the back line when she targets her skill in the wrong way. So there you go. Really good tank and defender, also possibility. Now Ella and Levia both are not confirmed for this month, but the possibility is there, so I wanted to bring attention to the 2 of them, so just so you know. But that is pretty much all the information we have about our May 2023 preview. Moving along at a good pace. By the end of this year, well, I won't say we'll be caught up because we're still getting it at about a 1-for-1 pace, but I think this is the distance that are trying to keep it for the most part, so which is what ends up how we end up with a couple slow weeks. Like last week, one of our slow weeks. Yeah, last week was one of our slower weeks. So how you end up with slow weeks like last week, which aren't a bad thing, let you recoup some resources and whatnot. So 2 very powerful rearms in Alex and Goen. I'm not really going to go over them too much. I'm not pulling up their character pages on Pyron or anything. We'll say Goen is already an incredible unit in the game, and her rearm just makes her just slightly better. Like, they're just little improvements, nothing outstandingly changes about her. So she's pretty much the same, just a little bit better, and she has a like faction buff now. So even if you don't use her in that faction, she's still just as good as she is now. So I won't say mandatory rearm, but still a good rearm. If you're a Gun fan, obviously you want to do it. She is one that I really want to do, but I will say rearm Alex is one of the best rearms in the game. Seconded, right to Orca and like Esterosa, like right there. Absolutely fantastic rearm, and honestly, if you have Alex, I do highly recommend getting her to 110 and rearming her. Super good rearm. Just no need to wait. Rearm Alex. Great rearm. If you rearm Casey, you don't necessarily have to rearm Alex because they fill the same kind of slot. But I decided to hold off on Casey because I wanted to rearm Alex first, so that's where I will be rearming. And if I have enough resources, I might rearm Gauntlett too. Though recouping those rearmament datas for SSR is going to be tricky because you got the enhanced system now, the tactical updates that you got to use your SSRs for. So I am slightly running down on those, but since they're in our monthly shop for business card things, so we'll be able to rearm. Maybe have enough by the time Shinatsu comes around. So that's it for our May 2023 preview. I do also want to add on there at the end that in May, probably mid to late May, to be accurate, is the 1-year launch of Counterside in Global. They haven't mentioned anything here about it, nor have I seen anything on their social media or anything like that about it. It is fairly common for there to be some kind of lead up into an anniversary, so you would hear about it as that month is approaching. As it is basically almost May now, and we've heard nothing, so I don't suspect too much happening. I feel like they're just gonna wrap our anniversary stuff into the Origin update, so our anniversary will just basically be moved up to February. So I wouldn't suspect too much coming in that, but I want to point it out that the possibility is there. We may see something in the way of very nice rewards or events for May 2023 and 1 year since the global launch. So we'll of course keep you updated on that information if we get anything right here. So keep your eyes peeled. I'll let you know as we find stuff out. Of course, if there's not anything to make a video on, I will post in the community tab to go over that information. So please keep your eyes there as well. So thank you again, everybody, for watching. Much appreciated for all of the support, all the views, everything. Hit like if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more Counterside and other mobile game content. And I will see everybody in the next one. Peace.